Nemo, resideo. Leave no one behind. A motto and a concept that is as old as warfare. And if you were to present that to any American, leave no man behind, the motto of the U.S. Rangers, essentially, it's a little bit more complex than that, you would evoke a sense of comradeship and of loyalty and of pride in the concept of never leaving a fallen comrade behind. And it would evoke that militaristic background that Americans are so proud of. But for me, Nemo resideo is the archaic version of a different phrase, one that's very appropriate to 2020, Medicare for all, because it's the exact same concept. That we need leave no one behind. We need leave no citizen fallen from disease. We make sure that they are saved. Now, if you were drowning and I was next to you and I'm within, arm's reach and you can't get to me, but I can help you if I want, would you want me to help you? You're gonna die if I don't do something. Now, would you like me to stand there and stare on in a disinterested manner? Or ask you, what's in it for me? How do you think the rest of the people in the world around you that survived your death would think of me? Who just stood there and watched you drown? I bet I wouldn't be viewed favorably, no would I? I would probably be the pariah of the community. That I tried to get a buck out of the concept of saving you from drowning. Now, personally, I'm not going to let you drown. I'm going to do everything in my power to get you out of that water and stay alive. Even at the risk of my own health and well-being. So why is it that leave no man behind is a motto that Americans can get behind? And why can they understand that you don't let somebody drown if you have the power to help them? But they can't seem to wrap their mind around the idea of Medicare for all. America is the only culture on the planet where poor people shun the concepts of free education and free medical care at the point of delivery because billionaires tell us it's bad. Why are you listening to the billionaires? They do not have your best interests in mind because they will watch you drown. And they will look at their ledgers and decide what kind of negative impact that drowning will have on them. And then they'll move on. But the idea of reaching out and making sure that no person suffers from illness without the community helping them is seen as socialist and evil. And it's got death panels. Yeah, we have death panels now. It's called private insurance. If a private insurance company says, hey, no, son, we're not going to cover that procedure that you need. Sorry, it's too expensive. You die. That's much less likely to happen under socialized medicine, believe it or not. I know you don't believe me. You've been told how everyone on the planet comes to Earth, on Earth comes to America because they want our medical care because it's so good. And we do have some good medical care here if you've got the money. But they also have really good medical care all over the world. And in fact, if you need your hip replaced, you could go to Spain, live there for 2 years, have your hip replaced twice, and pay the same amount of money as having your hip replaced here. But Americans are okay with that. Why? Because the billionaires have told us that's what we should be okay with. Taking care of each other, leaving no one behind, is an important concept. And that's what Medicare for All is. It's taking care of each other. How many people in Europe lost their insurance coverage because of COVID-19? That's right, 0. How many Americans have lost their insurance coverage because of COVID-19? 5.5 million. How many people each year in France go bankrupt because of an illness? That's right, 0. Same with all the other industrialized nations. 0. How many people go bankrupt in America? 600,000. Because they get sick. They have an accident and there's a sudden catastrophic medical issue related to that. Don't have the right insurance to cover that kind of thing? Well, then I'm sorry, you're going to have to lose your house and your kid's not going to go to college. And you'll die in poverty, which doesn't happen in other countries. So why can the other countries do it? Why do the other countries seem to get leave no man behind in the real world? And Americans only think about it in combat. Why do we listen to billionaires telling us that poor people shouldn't have an education and poor people shouldn't have health care coverage, that it's acceptable and it's normal for people to go bankrupt when they're sick or lose their health care because they don't have a job right now? Why is that acceptable? I want to reach out and help my fellow citizens. I want to keep them from drowning. But I'm only one person, and the money collected from me in tax dollars is not enough to help everyone. But all of our money combined together, and all of the money that should be properly taxed from the wealthy. For example, Jeff Bezos, if we got his actual tax money, it would be $8 billion. How much would that go towards helping us make sure that those who lost their insurance because of COVID-19 are covered? That's one billionaire. If we got all the money they owe us from all of them, we'd be doing okay. So why is leave no man behind so acceptable in war movies for Americans, but not acceptable to help your neighbor?